Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Come on in, turn on your cameras, get in the chat, get settled in, grab a drink, and let's get ready to cook some delicious food today. All right, I'm going to give you all a second to settle in. And Chef Meg is going to put in some recipes, put in some of our information about our beautiful sponsor today. We're going to have a good old time. You might be like, I don't know about this recipe, Lisa, but just wait until you see how simple, easy, and delicious this is.
You know what? It is pretty simple, easy, and delicious.
And there is her beautiful voice. There is beautiful Chef Meg's voice. Hello, Miriam, Tina, and Debbie, our superstars, our regulars. Every time I see those faces, I feel like I'm in a safe space. Hello, Steph, the mega star. Always cooking. Love it. All right. I see some new faces in the chat. Hello, Stan. Hello, hello. Hi, y'all. Welcome in. All right. Tina, you just reminded me to clean my glasses. Hi, PR. Hello. Let me clean my glasses. Mine are always messy. And that way I can read this a little better and see all of your gorgeous faces. All right. Let's get started, y'all. So today we have a umami, a rich, deep in flavor miso eggplant that has been broiled with mashed plantains. Are you excited, Chef Meg?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never I don't think I've eaten plantains incorporated into Japanese cooking. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. And I love sesame too.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we're kind of crossing worlds here. We have the plantains. I don't think it's super common with Japanese cooking, but that's the best part. We're crossing worlds, crossing waters. All right, y'all, guess what? So we have these gorgeous plantains that you might not think is gorgeous, but your taste buds are going to be like, this is friggin' delicious. Not only that, we have bananas. You might be like, that's a little weird, Lise. Bananas, plantains, eggplants, what's going on? I'm cleaning my fridge, okay? I'm cleaning my pantry, all right? But I'm also carbo loading, okay? So maybe tomorrow I'll actually go to the gym and have enough energy for it. Yep, because I haven't gone to the gym today, but maybe tomorrow. So I'm a carbo load ahead of time with this recipe. So y'all hold me accountable, okay? Like next time we see each other, be like, did you go to the gym? Because this is a lot of carbs here, but it's delicious carbs. So we're gonna get started. We have our water here. We're basically boiling this water, getting it ready for our plantains, y'all, because they do need to boil real quick before we do anything else. Yeah?
Yeah, right. So they're like plantains.
Yes.
We're treating them like potatoes today.
We are. We are treating them like potatoes. And not only that, the great thing about these plantains and bananas is you can find it anywhere. Because it's made by Dole. Dole has brought over these bananas and plantains for 125 years. Since 1899. Can y'all believe that? That's insane. I can't believe that. That's a long time. Bringing over plantains and bananas, and now we get to enjoy them to the fullest. The great thing about plantains, have you had a lot of plantains in your life, Meg?
I have had quite a few. I was just remembering that one of my core culinary memories was when I was a kid having sweet fried plantains at a restaurant. It was the best dessert I had until that point. It's been a while though.
Yeah.
I think it's fun well, plantains are often known as something that can be savory or used in savory and sweet applications, but the banana you don't see that in savory cooking. So I think this recipe is really fun.
Yes. Y'all, I love cooking with plantains, I honestly fry them a lot. I cut them really, really thin on a mandolin. That's what I usually like to do. Or I put them in stews, like something like a tomato stew. Sometimes I'll throw in some plantains or like a curry or something like that, because they kind of mimic a potato, essentially, but they're bananas, essentially.
And they're starchy, so do you think they thicken it up?
They thicken it up. They're like a natural thickener for sure. And not only that, they're just like nice and tasty when they're cubed. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can like sear them real quick just so that way they can hold together, and then put them in a curry. So what we're doing right now, y'all, is just basically grabbing these plantains, cutting them nice and small, because we're going to mash them later. But because of the high starch content, you're really going to take a bit of time to boil them. So you really want to make sure they're good to go, or hot to go, as they say. I don't know if y'all heard that song. That's my favorite. Alrighty, we're gonna grab some salt as we go over here, a little pinch. Always season your water. Putting those plantains in. And look at how gorgeous they are, y'all. Let me go over here in this camera so you can see. Look at that natural light and those plantains. Y'all, there are so many stages to plantains.
Right. Yeah, so the ones we had are like, they look they look similar to a banana, like the brown spotting that was on them. When you sometimes you can get them really green, which is like, that's when you would want to make your chips, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like them really green, y'all.
So it's like starchy.
Green. It should be hard. It should be like so strong. It's like a weapon. You know what I mean? Like, that's how hard I need my plantains so I can fry them beautifully. Also, I like to use plantains as a dessert if I do have the time for it. If I left them on the pantry and I forgot about them, they're really good as dessert. You can caramelize them when they go from green to yellow and with the black flecks, or when they're dark black. That's good for dessert too.
Yeah. I was gonna say they haven't gone bad if they're completely black. That's when you want to eat them. That's when the starch has turned into sugar, and you can fry them up and drizzle them with honey or powdered sugar or whatever.
Exactly. I'm heating this pot, y'all, with a little bit of oil. We're just getting it warmed up because we're about to sear these beautiful, beautiful eggplants. Some call them aubergines.
Oh yeah, some do.
Some do. In Fraser, they call them aubergine, and we're in Seattle, so this is the right time to get eggplanty.
Yeah, he's like, I have an aubergine tuxedo.
We have aubergines today. And there's so many different types of eggplants. You'd be surprised if you go to the Asian market, you have Thai and Indian eggplants. And they're small, y'all. They're this small. They're really crunchy. People use them in salads. They come in all different colors, from green to purple to sometimes even little pink, pink and purple eggplants for salads.
Also little green. Yeah, wait, did you already say green?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's green. And y'all, with these eggplants, I just want to show you, I'm going to cross hatch them here. We just want a quick sear on them. And this kind of helps extra water to escape as well. I don't know if you see it. It's really bright in here. There you go. A little cross hatching. You don't want to make it too complicated. Just enough so you can put it down and hear that nice sear. You're going to do the same on the side as well. You don't got to go too deep. Just a quick little cross hatch. And it just looks beautiful when you do it that way, you know? There you go.
I think later when we broil them, excuse me, it'll help the glaze to sink into the middle too. Yeah, especially with eggplant. Eggplant is so spongy and it's great in texture, high in nutrients, especially with eggplant. Tons of antioxidants. So there's just so many things that you're getting within this easy, quick recipe. A lot of nutrition, nutrition to the max. You're getting tons of fiber from your eggplant. You're getting tons of carbs from the plantains. Yeah, which is the fiber balances out the carbs. Or not balances out, but it's it helps you digest them slower, so it's longer energy. Yeah. And I need that balance with the glucose levels because, y'all, just a second ago, I did eat cake in the car. So I need to balance out my sugar levels, okay? I know it was bad, but it was on sale. It was a cake slice. It was very small.
So I'm going to balance this out by having this fiber because it's totally necessary for me, okay? So what you're going to get is like just a little sear. You see this? Gorgeous. A little sear like that. And we're going to flip it in a second. I'm going to give it maybe like 2 more minutes. And then after we sear them and flip them, oh, I'm sorry. Debbie has the cutest cat in the world in her arms, and that has distracted me. Look at that critter. What? Debbie, put your cat's name in the chat. Hi, kitty. Sorry, y'all. If you have a pet in the chat, I'm distracted. Look at that cat. Oh, gorgeous. Anyways, sorry, y'all. I mean, I love cats, okay? I will stop the world for a cat. All right? I'm just a super fan of little kitties.
That's Bella.
Oh. Hi, Bella. Bye, Bella. All right, we're flipping this eggplant, y'all, and this cross-hatching really does make a difference. It's okay if you have like the long, thin Italian eggplant. It really doesn't matter what size. It'll just affect the cooking a little longer. So just be mindful when you flip this over. We're just going to put a lid on it afterwards and let it cook and let it steam, essentially. All right, we're going to do one more over here. Same thing. And if you feel like, if you have these big eggplants in your kitchen and you're worried about timing, you can always cut it in half as well. It just won't have that nice, deep purple color to it. So that's just really up to you. All right, a little more cross-hatching. Do y'all love eggplant? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't love eggplant, Chef Meg. I despise eggplant, honestly. It is not my favorite vegetable. I hate it.
I'll have to try this one.
Yes, but this one, since it's with plantains, bananas, and miso, that's going to be a little different for me. I think that will make me like eggplants.
I'm definitely partial to like the Japanese and Thai eggplant. I find them a little creamier, a little less spongy. I think sometimes the sponginess of a Italian eggplant gets a little old for me.
Ooh,
but
I agree.
But this preparation, like between the searing and the broiling, I've tried this recipe before, and it ends up a little creamier in the way that I like in other eggplants.
Yes, that's a good substitution to have something nice and creamy like that, and you have eggplant, and it's just so filling too. It's a really filling vegetable.
And like you said, miso. It's like anything with miso on it, I'm down.
Yes. Y'all, okay, we're going to get started on our part 2 here. As this is cooking, we have our banana. Thanks, Dole, for the banana. Gorgeous, gorgeous banana here. Nice and ripe. If you have it in the back of your cabinet, like I said, wherever you have these spotted bananas, they are not just for banana bread. I'm tired of banana bread, y'all. I'm over it. I don't want any more banana bread.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I hate banana bread, y'all. After a while, I mean, everyone has banana bread so often. I'm sick and tired of it. I will freeze it for the next year, and hopefully my husband will eat the banana bread because he eats everything in the freezer.
Okay.
So that's the balance for me. But the best part about this recipe that Dole has shown us is it's versatile. Banana is not just for sweet that we know of. We're going to make a nice miso glaze for these eggplants.
Sweetened by banana. Naturally sweetened.
By banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So we got this banana here. We're going to smash it real quick. Little spoon here, wooden spoon. We're just going to smash it down like baby food. And look at it. It's nice and ripe, easy to just get it together. And what we're going to combine with this one is some ginger and garlic. Gorgeous. You want it nice and finely minced. You could put it in a blender, or you could just do it by hand. Yeah, we can. We could do it with a fork with you if you wish. I like this spoon here just because you could like mash everything together. A wooden spoon is just like good for everything, y'all. I love a good wooden spoon. I probably use it the most in my kitchen.
Yeah.
To be honest. All right, you have the garlic, you have the ginger, you have the banana, and we're gonna add some soy sauce. If you don't like soy sauce, you can use liquid aminos if you're worried about any like gluten allergies. Liquid amino is great for that, substitute. So you want a little saltiness and a little bit of color with this soy sauce. We're also going to add a little bit of rice vinegar and some mirin, which is just fermented rice wine, just a little bit of rice wine. And I feel like it gives it a nice fragrance. It's almost like floral when you put in that rice wine. I mean, I feel like white wine is just so astringent, right? White vinegar is so astringent that you need that white rice vinegar. You know, I think it makes it nice and balanced.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Do you know the answer to this? Like,
Sure.
what is the difference between rice vinegar and mirin?
Rice vinegar and mirin. Rice vinegar is not alcoholic. So like the mirin is fermented rice wine.
Okay.
So that's a wine versus a vinegar.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, to
It's
just
like a
like keep
cooking
it
wine.
as simple as that. But I would say even just the taste is more tart and floral, and the mirin is a little bit more sweet.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Keep them coming with the questions, y'all. Don't hesitate. Any comments, questions, concerns, let Chef Meg know in the chat, and we can talk about it. All right, and look at this, y'all. I just want to show you this glorious. These look like 2 scoops of ice cream, but they're not. This is your white miso paste, okay? And you guys might be like, what is miso? Miso is fermented. It's a fermented salt, flavorful, deep flavorful bomb. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's fermented with koji, which is essentially a mold that comes from barley, that comes from rice, soybeans, and it combines with the soybeans. And what makes it so great is that it's really rich in flavor. Like when you eat it, it's like nice, sweet and rich, and it really gives deeper levels and complexities to your food, for sure. And it's versatile. You might be like, Lisa, I don't want to buy miso from the grocery store and have just a jug sitting in my fridge just for this one recipe.
It does come in a very large quantity.
It
most
does.
of the time.
It really does. It's like about, I don't know, like 8 ounces
Mm-hmm.
in the grocery store, which you can find really at any grocery store, at a Safeway, at a Kroger. Any of them will be like in the salad section usually, or like the dressing section, I feel like.
or
that's
like
refrigerated.
international.
International.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
It is in like the vegetarian refrigerated section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And the best part is, let me get this eggplant out, y'all. Look at that. Nice and soft.
Ooh.
And your eggplant should be soft to the touch. If it's a little hard, you can leave it in there for a little bit and go down in temperature. But look at this. You should be able to kind of dent it a little bit, like have a finger
Mm-hmm.
print kind of stay there. You know, that's when you know your eggplant is done. So I'm going to set this one aside, as well as this one. And we're going to work on these other 2 real quick. Gorgeous. All right, y'all. The miso, so versatile. You can use it in dressing. You can mix it with butter. You can use it as a marinade, especially this one is a white miso. Miso comes in so many variations, y'all. Your world will be expanded on how much miso you can have in different ways. Of course, we're used to like miso soup,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
That's like the most common one. You put some tofu, you make a broth, and you're done with it.
Yeah.
But there's like red. That one's a little bit aged a little longer. Some are made with strictly barley. And they're just different colors, from red to black to gray to white, and so many different varieties of flavor. But I like the white one just because it's a little bit more simple. We just want to be a little bit more delicate in the flavor, but we still want some depth. So like salt and soy sauce is great, but then when you have that miso, it's just a whole nother world.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say. I love soybeans just because it has almost like a nutty flavor to it, but it's still delicate.
What is the like quote unquote weirdest way that you've used miso or incorporated it into your cooking?
Weirdest way?
Not like actually weird,
Okay.
but like most unexpected way.
Most unexpected? I mean, honestly, y'all, sometimes I like it with a little bit of vanilla ice cream.
Oh, yep.
It's like sea salt. It's almost like sea salt, but it's like Japanese sea salt in a way, right? But it's like fermented. So you get a little paste in there. You put like a little spoon slab, and you put vanilla ice cream, and it's nice and salty. It's like sea salted caramel. Like think about like salted caramel,
Yes.
but with ice cream.
Yum.
That's what I would do, and that's what I've done. What about you? What's a fun way that you have incorporated miso?
I have done, it's really similar to yours, but I've made miso whipped cream, just a little bit in there.
Miso whipped cream,
And then like with strawberries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good combo.
That is a good combo. Have y'all used miso? What is your favorite way of using miso? Do you guys have questions about miso? Leave it in the chat. Let Chef Meg know, and I'd love to discuss it because I am slowly becoming a miso nerd, and I want to expand on that. And I hope that you all will have miso in your fridge because it's a great companion. You can use it for everything. You can even put it in your potato salad, honestly. I mean, there's so many things you could use miso for. That's the best part about miso. And now we have it as a glaze, y'all. Look at this. It may not look gorgeous, but once it's bubbling on your eggplant, you will not regret this. And let's see what our status is on the plantains, y'all. Let's get a fork here and stab through it and see what we got. Do you all prefer plantains sweet, salty? Leave it in the chat. I love plantains any sort of way. I am a super fan of plantains. Let's see. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, we're there. We're there, y'all. I'm gonna give it like maybe like less than 5 minutes. Just a little bit more so I can get like a cleaner mash. But we're almost there with our plantains. So excited. Y'all, it's really simple. Our recipe today, not many ingredients. You have your eggplant, you have your plantains, miso, salt and pepper, little olive oil, sesame oil, and butter. That's it, and banana. And all of these, I think you can find it in your cabinet and maybe just go out to the store and get miso. That's probably it. Maybe mirin. But if you feel like you need substitutes for that, mirin, you can use like white wine. Like, because mirin is just like a little fermented, but you might not, you know.
What about like just double or like substituting more rice vinegar?
You can.
Would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be like a little bit more like tangy, I would assume, but it's great. You could do that too. Rice vinegar. You could use white vinegar in your cabinet if you wish, but I would say rice vinegar is just more delicate because like white vinegar is so abrasive.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't use. I don't know if I would use white vinegar.
Yeah.
Maybe a little white wine vinegar with
Ooh,
some
like a
sugar.
champagne.
Yeah, like
something.
add a little sugar to it because I think rice vinegar is still sweeter than
It is
white
sweeter.
wine vinegar.
For sure. For sure, y'all. Anything in the chat, Meg? Anyone have any comments, questions?
Someone was wondering.
Yeah.
What they would substitute for the miso in this one.
Okay. With miso, I really would say just go out to the grocery store if you could. I mean, honestly, just because it's kind of hard to substitute.
It's hard.
that.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, because it's a fermented, nutty, like sweet soy kind of flavor that you can't really find anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really think of a substitute. What do
Soy
you
sauce,
think?
but then it's like you're kind of missing like the paste element, you know.
Yeah, and it's richer. It's almost like soy
Isn't it a
sauce
vibe?
is like just so salty, and if you add more, it kind of defeats the purpose. When you have that miso, it's richer. You know, you're missing out on all the flavor. So if you can, I would say try to go to your local grocery store. They have it almost everywhere. I mean, I guess you could add more liquid amino just because I feel like liquid amino is a good balance. It's not too salty, it's not too sweet. And if you still want that bean flavor, you could. But I would say stick with the miso, y'all. Go ahead and explore. Go out there, explore, get a little miso while you're getting a little milk. That's a great thing about today going into the grocery store, you can literally pick up milk, butter, and miso all in one stop. You don't have to go to an Asian grocery store to get miso. It's like right there at your fingertips, for sure. All right, y'all, I'm gonna take this eggplant out. And I think we're about to be ready. This one maybe needs a little bit more time. I'm gonna give this one a few more minutes. And with this banana, y'all, I think it's ready. Yes, look at this. So delicate. If you could smell it right now, y'all, it's like a little sweet in this space because of the plantains. It always has that little richness, but it's not like insanely sugary, you know? You still get a little sweetness. So I'm gonna turn this off, drain this out, and we're gonna start making our mash. And this is a great substitute. I love my potatoes, but today we're doing plantains, Meg.
Yeah, they are versatile like potatoes, and they can be used in a lot of the same ways, that starchiness. When you're done with that, someone was asking if you would show what a container of miso looks like.
I would love to, yes. And Chef Meg has grabbed it, and I'll go over here to this camera. Look at that. How gorgeous. Yeah, Steph has some too.
Will you
nice.
show the inside of it?
Yes. Ready?
We've used a lot of this one.
Gorgeous. You see how used that is? This is not a new container of miso. That's how much the office loves miso here, y'all. Look at that. And when you smell it, it smells like a very, very light soy sauce. Very light. Think of it like a nice paste. And it's just so you can use it literally for everything. And it's not that high in sugar.
Yeah, it's more like, it is salty.
It is salty. Yeah, I was about to say, there's no sodium. There's a lot of sodium in it. But that's why you only use like a tablespoon or two. I was about to say no sodium, and it's like 860 milligrams of sodium. I was like, oh, let's not say that. But yes, y'all, this is a superstar. This can be used in so many things that people are going to start to ask you, what's in this? This is really good. This is really different than what I usually have. And I know y'all might be skeptical. I see some of y'all thinking about it and being like, this is a little weird. But I promise you, you will be like, this will save you. This can be put in some broths. This can be put in some, honestly, a little mayo. And this would be stellar. Okay? Because you're getting a little saltiness. And it's like hard to describe how this miso tastes. It's not like a regular salt. You know how you get a little sea salt in there? It's not like that. It's just so much richer. It's buttery almost with the paste.
Yeah, it's hard to, it just like really is a thing in itself. But it's, right, the umami, the like ferment, but you don't really taste like, it doesn't taste fermented in the way that like kimchi or something tastes fermented.
It's not super strong in that flavor component at all. All right. Now that we've taken that out, all that water, let's get back to our pot. Put our drained plantains in. Ooh, look at that. I love plantains. And we're gonna mash it up with some butter and some sesame oil. If you have sesame allergies, you're more than welcome to opt out of sesame. But I like the nutty flavor that comes with it. And we're just gonna add some toasted sesame seeds. If you have regular sesame seeds in your cabinet, you can always just toast it. A little olive oil or a little just a hot pan and just toss them in and you're good to go. I like a little color, so I'm gonna add some black and white sesame seeds that have been toasted. And you're good to go. All right, we're gonna put the heat back on. All right. And y'all, I've honestly had more plantains in like Jamaican cooking, in South American cooking, But I'm glad that we're kind of combining two worlds. We're doing like a Japanese style Nasu Dengaku. Don't be mad at me if I say it wrong. I tried. The whole point is trying. But a Japanese style of eggplants, and then we have plantains, which is really dope. All right, y'all. Got a little butter. We're mashing these plantains together. And as we get that, we're going to get a couple other things in there too. We're going to get our miso in the oven soon. I should have used a better tool, y'all, but that's okay, because our plantains are nice and soft, and Meg is getting me a masher. Which, sorry, I didn't want to do the dishes. The masher is such a pain, but now she saved me. Thanks, Chef Meg. Thanks for getting the masher for me. I really thought my plantains would be soft enough, but these are soft enough for your mash, just not soft enough for a spatula. And you all are welcome to use ghee if you want. I know some people would rather use like coconut oil. If you want to keep it like completely vegan, you could do coconut oil. You can do olive oil, like Chef Meg told me earlier. Mm-hmm. But I love butter, so you'll never catch me not doing that. I'm sorry. I love me some butter. And let's just salt and pepper this to taste, y'all, real quick. And every time you season, season from above, so that way you get a nice balance of seasoning. And here is your mashed plantains. Oh my goodness, y'all, this looks delicious already. Meg, are you excited or what?
Oh yeah, those are looking creamy.
I know. And we're gonna get this eggplant out of here.
Ooh, I forgot about it.
Not you forgetting about it, Chef Meg. I'm scared. Not you forgetting. All right. Let's go ahead and glaze. All right. Look at this mash, y'all. This is our banana, like I said. We're going to recap here. Our banana, our miso, our mirin, our rice vinegar, and banana.
Don't knock it till you try it with the banana miso glaze.
Yes. Let's have fun. Let's get a little creative here. And I got my brush. We're just going to go ahead and put it on top. Your oven should be broiling or at 550 on temp. So what you're basically doing with broiling, you're almost grilling, essentially, right? You're going to think, isn't broiling baking? It is not. It's a little bit more aggressive. Baking is a little more gentle. But when we broil, we're just doing high heat. We're going directly above and transferring all that intensity to this eggplant, so that way we can get something crispy, we can get something bubbling, and a lot of color.
But it's just caramelizing the top part.
Yes.
And that's why we cooked.
Yes.
We cooked it like basically fully cooked on the stove.
Mm-hmm. And y'all, you can always cut off the tops of the eggplant, but honestly, I think it's so cute when you have like a little green at the end.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm going to put all the sauce on here because why not? I love a lot of flavor, and I want all that sweetness on these eggplants. And don't forget to line your pan with some foil. That way it's less cleanup for you later. This part, I'm sure your family would love to get into and participate because glazing's so fun. There's so many things you could do with glazing. All right, let's get this in the oven. Ooh, that's a hot temp, y'all. That's a hot temp. I hope you all are staying cool out there because in Seattle, we've gone cool all over again. It's not as hot as it once was.
You got to stand back from that.
Yeah, this is like Las Vegas heat. So those who are in the chat telling me about Las Vegas and how it was like 110 degrees, yeah, this is hot over here. I already feel it. I'm like standing far away from it and I feel the heat. We're going to put this in for about 5 minutes or so. Do a little timer. 4 minutes. And by then, it should caramelize. It should bubble. It should almost be scary, right? You don't want it blackened, but you do want it to be a rich, rich color. Yeah. I'm going to get my plate out here and get the plantains ready. I want to put it in one beautiful spot while I clean this all up. Oh. All right. Here's our plantains. Let's get it in one spot here. Y'all, I'm already excited. It's going to be savory and rich. Do you smell those sesame seeds?
I can't smell from here.
How dare you, Meg? How dare you? Where's the magic? No, the sesame. I could smell the sesame seeds because I'm closer, obviously. But Meg is watching the sesame seeds as we speak.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you're tired of banana bread.
Yeah, I am.
You have, let's say you have 6 super ripe bananas.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with them?
Maybe like a sorbet or an ice cream. That's what I would do.
I do like banana ice cream.
Yeah, I would like maybe even, you know, we learned from class a couple classes ago, right, how to make a semi-Fredo.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? So we could probably make like some sort of syrup with the bananas. Put bananas, smash them up, put some sugar, a little lemon juice, and let them sit for a second. As you get the whipped cream together, and you basically make a semi-Fredo banana. You could do that.
Yeah, like banana custard. Do you like banana cream pie?
I do. I do like banana cream pie, but I don't like the organic kind. I like the super processed kind.
You mean like
I need a packet.
like okay.
I need a packet, y'all. I need the
Oh.
packet. I just want the canister of whipped cream and call it a day, and I want the Nella wafers. That's all I want. I don't want to taste banana in my banana pudding. I'm sorry. You know, and that's why this is Dole teaching me how to be healthier, because the universe has seen how unhealthy I eat. I ate a cake today. Well, not a whole cake, slice of cake, but it was still a lot. It was a lot of cake.
Sounds fun.
It was a tuxedo cake, and it was delicious. It's my favorite kind of cake, y'all.
Wait,
So-
is that what, chocolate with vanilla?
Yeah,
Okay.
chocolate, vanilla, marbled cake, and it was delicious. And I ate it in the parking lot, and it was delightful. But now we have balance. You gotta balance out your life with some fiber, with some plantains, and with some carbohydrates.
Yeah, vitamins.
Exactly, some vitamins and nutrients, which my body is begging for. Okay, that's why I'm paired with Dole.
I noticed that earlier when you set your timer, I think you pressed it twice and didn't actually go. But I set a timer for you, and there's 1 more minute on it. Just so you know.
And that is why I love Chef Meg, because if Chef Meg wasn't here, this place probably would burn down if I'm in charge of it. So I apologize. And I thank you for being patient with my silly quirks of forgetting the timer. Thank you. Y'all, here's our plantains. We're about to peak. I don't know about you, but I'm a peaker.
Yeah, I'm ready
So-
for you. Like I'm getting excited. I want you to peek.
Yeah. Let's peek. Let's just see. I know 4 minutes, but we're on the edge. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. It's almost there, y'all. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. Well, it's almost there. I would give it like maybe 1 more minute just so it can get a little bit more color. It's steaming now, but I need a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get any questions for Chef Lisa
Yes. Any
in
questions?
the chat while we're waiting for another
y'all
minute or so.
Love plantains. Do you hate plantains? Do you ignore them when you're in the grocery store?
Pick them up.
Yeah, grab a plantain. Make your day better with a plantain and see what you can do with it. I ate some Lay's potato chips, and when I eat my plantain chips, it's totally different. I like really thin plantain chips where they're just like, you touch them and they crumble in your hand. That's the best type of chip. You know, I don't know about y'all, but
I love a plantain chip. I love
Yeah.
when they're sliced long ways,
Mhm.
a nice long like surfboard kind of shape. I'm into
oh, yes. Ooh, you know what you guys can do too with plantains after this? If you have an air fryer, you can make like plantain wedges. You know, you can make like little plantain potatoes, like potato wedges, but plantains. Because they're starchy enough. They're literally potatoes in the banana world, y'all. They are.
Yeah.
They're so great. You can use them for literally anything. In the restaurants, you get like caramelized ones. Ooh, what do we see here? Do I see a beach?
A beach. Okay, let's see. Debbie has a question, so
Yes.
I'm going to unmute here.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello. So the question came through in the chat.
Yes.
What can be substituted for eggplant?
I get it. I hate eggplant. So I totally understand. But the reason why I think you should at least try with eggplant, right, is because it gives you that creaminess. Huh?
I forgot you can't read lips.
Yeah, I'm terrible. Sorry. Well, okay. You can substitute it if you wish. You can really substitute it. I mean, eggplant, you're kind of caramelizing. This is like a Japanese recipe, in a sense, with the caramelization and the miso, right? Let me show you before I even answer that. Let me show you what it looks like so you can understand why the eggplant must be worshipped today.
I was going to say zucchini.
Zucchini?
I mean,
It's so soft.
It cooks a little bit similarly.
Yeah, but I feel like with zucchini, it falls apart so easily. Zucchini is dainty, y'all. You can like mess around with the eggplant and it'll be fine. But
What about a squash?
yeah, you can do a squash. You know, butternut squash, if you wish. I would say it's more fibrous. That's a good suggestion, Chef Beg. But y'all, it's not as creamy as this eggplant, though. Look at that. You know what I mean? We're about to cut into it, too, and you're about to see. Look at this. Look at the broiling part. Get a little brown here. I'm actually going to put it over there so you can see it a little closer. Look at this. That's a meal and a half, y'all. Don't worry about my baked potato. This is what you want. You want a little salt? You want balance in your life? Flavor. And we're going to put some mashed potatoes on there. But it's not potato. It's plantain today with some sesame. A little bit of mash here, y'all. Little starch. But yeah, you can substitute it if you wish, y'all. But I think this recipe especially, I know I harp on the miso. I think you will be converted like me. Just for this, though. Don't give me an eggplant parmesan. But with this, with the miso, I think people will be converted. What do you think, Meg?
Yeah, I think they're a great pair.
Yes. And let's cut it up. I think I left it over here.
There's another question in the chat
Yes.
about plantains. Like if they're green, if they're black, it's the same. It's the same
Yeah.
fruit. Black is just a lot more ripe,
Yes.
and you can eat them when they're black. When they're green, they're really starchy.
Yeah. When they're green, you don't eat that raw. You know, when they're speckled and a little yellow, or when they're black, you can eat them raw if you wish. But when they're green, they're just so much better cooked.
Yeah, you need to cook them up for them to be edible.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
starchy.
exactly. And look at that, y'all. Ooh, gorgeous. You get some plantain, a little sesame. This is going to be the perfect bite. And I don't like eggplant. So let's see if I'm converted after this. Okay, I'm going to give you the honest reaction. So if I turn around, that's a bad sign. But I'll be polite about it. But I think I'll like this one. Okay, let's see. Well, it works. It works. I'm converted. Will I buy eggplant for anything but this recipe? No. But for this recipe, I will. The banana is really nice. It balances out the saltiness of the soybean and the miso. The miso gives it a little bit of an earthy layer to it, to me. And the eggplant gives it a nice chew. You get a little bite to it. It's almost like you're eating a veggie steak, right? So if you have a vegan or a vegetarian friend, this is a great substitute for them. And if you're eating with them with the same recipe, I think you'll be just as satisfied. It's quite nice. Yeah, y'all. I think this is it. The plantains here too. Okay. I like that. I know you all might be hesitant, but these plantains are nice. They're sweet. You have a little bit of sesame in there, and a little nice salt and pepper does it real good. And look at that color. Come on, you don't want this? Look at that. It's nice and creamy. It's a good substitute. But, great question that Debbie brought up. I would definitely say you can totally do a squash if you wish. I would say zucchini is like just a little soft. But the butternut squash would be great.
Nice.
For sure, yeah.
Everyone's proud of you for taking a big bite of something you don't like.
Thank you, yes. I think we should all take steps to doing that, y'all. Maybe we'll be converted. You know what I mean? Not all the time, but sometimes. And today is that sometime that I enjoyed. I'm gonna eat this continuously. I like this. I probably get maybe a smaller eggplant.
Yeah, they're
just because
really,
it's a lot.
really big.
It is a lot, and I don't think I want that much eggplant, especially for a reformed eggplant hater. But I think this is definitely worth having in your kitchen, having miso in your kitchen, and actually going to the grocery store and getting it. I just want to say thank you all so much for coming by. You all are going to meet my friend, Alex. My friend Alex and I go back to basically off camera, we do restaurant pop-ups. Like we cook out basically for other people, and that's how we met. He was able to eat my food, and I was able to eat his food. He makes delicious Colombian food and Peruvian food, and I make Vietnamese food. And now you're going to see Chef Alex teach a lamb pad thai class next Tuesday. Y'all be nice to him. It's his first time, and he's like a little angel baby, and you guys will love him. And he's a mama's boy, too. He is so sweet to his mother. You guys will be like, wow, you like this guy. He's really sweet. For real. All right, y'all. Follow us on Homemade is Live. If you made something, please share. We'd love to see it. And I can't wait to feed you next time and cook with you next time. It's been a pleasure. It's always a joy. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.